The body is the foundation of all human experience. It is the first temple we are given, the one tool we carry through every success, every failure, and every step between. Without strength in the body, the mind is easily fatigued. Without energy, even the greatest ambition remains unrealized. To pursue anything with intensity, whether it be a dream, a goal, or a higher path, the body must be prepared to carry the weight of that pursuit. Training the body, then, is not a luxury or a hobby. It is an act of responsibility. Fitness is not about appearance. It is about capability. When we move, stretch, sweat, and breathe deeply, we awaken something ancient within us, awareness. A strong body moves efficiently, rests deeply, and responds calmly under pressure. Daily physical practice, whether through martial arts, running, yoga, or calisthenics, teaches consistency. It teaches how to meet resistance without retreat. Each repetition becomes a message. I am in control. I choose effort over comfort. But physical mastery is not only about muscle or endurance. It is about discipline. You cannot build a strong body with occasional effort. The same set of movements, done daily, will create change not only in your physique but in your character. You begin to shift from someone who wants results to someone who lives in alignment with those results. You don't wait until you feel like moving. You move because you have committed. This shift is where transformation begins. In mastering the body, you also build resilience against chaos. Life will throw storms at you, stress, exhaustion, setbacks. A well-trained body becomes a stable ship in those storms. Your breath stays steady, your mind less reactive. The nervous system is less triggered. You become grounded, centered. Not because the world is calm, but because you are. This is not brute strength. This is cultivated power. Finally, the body becomes a mirror for the inner state. When you neglect it, you often find the mind becomes foggy, motivation low, emotions unstable. But when you treat the body with care, train it with discipline, feed it with awareness, it returns the favor. It becomes a vessel you can trust. And in trusting your body, you can begin to trust yourself fully. Because how you do one thing is how you do everything. And how you train your body is often how you train your life. The untrained mind is restless. It jumps from thought to thought, past to future, craving distraction, fearing stillness. In such a state, clarity is impossible. Focus dissolves, energy leaks, and direction is lost. That is why training the mind is not optional. It is essential. The same way we train the body to build strength, we must train the mind to build silence, presence, and precision. Only in stillness does the mind begin to listen. And only in listening can it begin to truly see. Stillness is not the absence of activity. It is the deliberate practice of turning inward. A seated body, an upright spine, a breath that flows without force. This is the training ground. At first, silence feels uncomfortable. The mind protests. It whispers stories, memories, worries. But over time, you begin to notice the space between those thoughts. That space is attention. That space is freedom. In meditation, we are not trying to escape the mind. We are learning to observe it with being pulled by it. Focus is born from attention that has been gathered like sunlight through a lens. Without training, the mind scatters across 1,000 things, chasing noise. But when you practice bringing it back again and again to the breath, the movement, the present moment, you strengthen your ability to direct it. This is how focus is built through repetition. One breath, one step, one task at a time. You become less reactive, more deliberate. You stop wasting energy on what doesn't matter because your mind has learned to stay with what does. The benefits of a focused mind extend far beyond moments of meditation. In your work, your relationships, your training, everything becomes more intentional. You begin to hear more clearly, speak with more care, act with more precision. A calm mind sees patterns. A calm mind feels less fear. Most importantly, a calm mind cannot be controlled by external chaos. You carry the discipline of stillness with you, even into movement, into challenge, into conflict. It becomes a part of you. Mental training does not mean suppressing emotion or detaching from life. It means becoming more conscious of what you allow to shape your inner world. What you feed your mind becomes your focus. What you focus on becomes your reality. The mind, once trained, becomes an ally instead of an enemy. It becomes a sword instead of a storm. And in this way, your attention becomes your most powerful tool, sharper than motivation, deeper than knowledge, and more enduring than inspiration. Energy is the invisible thread that determines the quality of everything you do. But not all energy is the same. Some comes in short, sharp bursts, quick to ignite, quick to burn out. Other energy is steady, grounded, and long-lasting. The difference between the two is not talent or circumstance. It is practice. Many people wait for motivation to appear, but motivation is unreliable. It comes and goes like weather. What sustains you is rhythm, repetition, and inner alignment. True energy is not explosive. It is consistent. To build this kind of energy, you must move away from dependency on outer stimulation and reconnect to your internal source. That source is strengthened through daily routines, rising early, engaging in movement, meditating, breathing, eating with awareness. These are not just habits. They are rituals. They anchor the nervous system. They regulate emotion. And they signal to the body and mind, I am awake, I am ready, I am committed. When these simple actions are repeated consistently, they begin to generate momentum. And momentum is power. Inner energy is not something you force. It's something you cultivate. It grows quietly when you align your actions with your values. When what you think, say, and do move in the same direction. There is no friction inside. You no longer spend energy on doubt, guilt, or resistance. You begin to experience flow. This is where true vitality comes from. Not from doing more, but from doing the right things consistently and with awareness. From this flow, energy becomes a natural byproduct of how you live. It is also essential to protect your energy. Not everything deserves your attention. Not every conversation, not every emotion, not every piece of news. What you allow into your mental space either charges you or drains you. You must learn to observe what lifts your energy and what lowers it. People, habits, environments, they all carry frequency. Choose wisely. This does not mean avoiding hardship or discomfort. It means staying conscious of what strengthens your fire and what slowly smothers it. Lastly, we must understand that being fired up is not about hype. It is about depth. Hype fades. Depth endures. Inner energy is not loud. It's a calm intensity, a steady flame that burns quietly through repetition and resolve. You do not need to be dramatic to be powerful. You need to be consistent. You need to be present. And most of all, you need to keep showing up, especially on the days when you don't feel like it. That is when real energy is built in the silence, in the sweat, in the stillness. Living with intention means moving through life not as a passive passenger, but as the conscious driver of your journey. It requires that you bring awareness to every moment, every choice, and every movement. Often, we go through days on autopilot, reacting to external stimuli, rushing from one task to the next, caught in the flow of distraction. But when you live intentionally, you break free from this cycle. You begin to recognize that even the smallest actions carry meaning, and that your life is shaped not by grand gestures alone, but by the sum of your daily habits and decisions. Intention is expressed through clarity. When you know why you are doing something, the action itself becomes charged with purpose. Whether it is the way you eat your meal, the way you greet someone, or the way you hold your posture, each act is an opportunity to practice presence. This clarity cuts through chaos. It refines your energy and prevents it from scattering. Without intention, energy leaks through wasted moments and unfocused efforts. With intention, every action becomes a building block toward the life you seek to create. Living intentionally also means honoring the connection between mind, body, and environment. What you put into your body, food, water, rest, directly affects your energy and focus. What you surround yourself with, people, spaces, sounds, shapes your mental and emotional state. What you feed your mind, thoughts, information, beliefs, creates the lens through which you experience reality. When you bring intention to these areas, you cultivate a supportive ecosystem for your growth. You become aware that external conditions matter, but they are always a reflection of your internal state. Intentional living demands discipline because it requires constant choice. There is always an easier or more distracting path available. To stay intentional means to say no to what does not serve your highest good. It means setting boundaries, simplifying where possible, and prioritizing what truly matters. This kind of discipline is not rigid or punitive. It is loving. It protects your time, your energy, and your mental clarity. By guarding these precious resources, you create space to focus on what fuels your passion and growth. Finally, when you live with intention, you reclaim your power. You no longer drift according to circumstance or habit, but act with awareness and direction. This is how small, consistent acts become a life of meaning. It is how your outer world begins to reflect your inner values. Each intentional step is a statement. I am here. I am awake. I am creating. In this way, your life becomes your message, and every moment becomes an opportunity for presence and purpose. Waiting is the silent thief of progress. We tell ourselves we will start when conditions are perfect, when motivation arrives, when we have more time or energy. But those moments rarely come in the way we expect. Life moves forward regardless, and waiting only builds a wall between where you are and where you want to be. Action is the bridge. It is the spark that transforms intention into reality. The practice of acting now, without hesitation, is the cornerstone of all meaningful change. To act now does not mean rushing blindly or abandoning reflection. It means recognizing that the present moment is the only moment you truly own. The future is uncertain. The past is fixed. If you keep postponing, you will find your potential slipping quietly away. Instead, you engage with what is available, your body, your breath, your mind, and make the smallest move possible. That move could be a single step out the door, a few deep breaths, or a simple task completed. What matters is momentum, not magnitude. Starting now also cultivates courage. Fear often arises because we imagine worst-case scenarios, anticipate failure, or feel unprepared. But the truth is, readiness comes through doing. The first action taken despite doubt, opens a door. It shifts your relationship to fear from paralysis to possibility. Each subsequent step builds confidence, making the path clearer and the challenge smaller. When you wait, fear grows larger. When you act, fear shrinks. This is the power of presence, the power of now. Acting immediately connects intention with habit. Habits are not formed in grand gestures, but through repetition of small, consistent actions. The more you choose to act rather than wait, the more your discipline strengthens. This discipline becomes a force field against procrastination and distraction. It reprograms your mind to favor doing over doubting. Over time, this consistent action becomes your identity. You become the person who moves forward, no matter what, steadily and with purpose. Lastly, acting now creates a ripple effect beyond the immediate moment. Each step taken sends a message to your subconscious and to the universe: you are committed. This commitment changes the energy around you. Opportunities that once seemed distant start to align. People respond to your momentum. Doors open where before there were walls. The magic of action is that it transforms your entire experience, not just your results. It shifts your mindset from passive to powerful and ignites the fire that keeps you moving.